If you're a business owner looking to start on YouTube, the first thing that you might ask yourself is, what kind of gear do I buy in order to start? I hear this all the time when talking to prospects or clients, and it's a societal pressure to feel like you have to have a high production when starting on YouTube because everybody else does, but it's just really not true. You can grow your channel, attract clients, and do everything else with the most basic setup. Extra camera quality is just for the final touch to come across in the branding, but realistically, that's it. This is the ultimate camera and equipment guide if you are a business owner looking to start on YouTube. This is the only video you need. We'll be covering 3 points. The first is all you need and the settings to maximize what you have. The second is stepping it up a bit, and this is the camera equipment you can buy. This is exactly what I use for my setup. And the third is Supreme, top of the line. You can buy this, and no, we're not showing red cameras or anything like that. It's still under $10,000. Before doing so, if you are a business owner looking to establish yourself on YouTube without doing all the day-to-day tasks that take a lot of time, such as content ideas, scripting, editing, posting, thumbnails, etc., we will handle this for you. All you have to do is film. So go check out the link in description, claysumner.com. The first category, you're just getting started and you want to start as soon as possible. Maybe you don't want to spend thousands on camera gear. So here is exactly how to utilize what you currently have. Your iPhone camera. Yes, I know, quite exquisite. Or your Android camera, as long as it's been released in the past few years. Otherwise, it might be like 480 quality. And I know you probably didn't want to hear that because you want an excuse to put off YouTube and buy something in the future. That's what a lot of people do, but your iPhone camera or Android camera is perfectly doable. And for the mic, the built-in one is quite efficient. The crazy thing is my Android microphone here built into the phone is way better than the Rode mic that I have on my camera, just because it's closer to my mouth and overall it just sounds better. First of all is the one that comes with the camera, but if you're setting it pretty far away, you do want to have something close to your mouth. And for that, I would recommend just a cheap lav mic that you can get off Amazon. And I'm going to put everything that I talk about, I'm just going to put up on screen. So it'd be pretty easy. And I'm going to have everything linked in the description. So you can go click on any of those links and I'll have a whole guide there for it to be easy to navigate. And you want to make sure that the lav mic is long enough so that you can connect it without having to buy like the receiver or the transmitter to record them separately. So, and you want to make sure if you have an iPhone or the newer Android, you want to get like the MP3 to whatever, like a USB-C adapter, just so it's recording at the same time. You don't have to buy different, like a transmitter. When you're searching on Amazon, you might be tempted to buy the wireless mics that are like around $15. And I would say these are kind of like the cheap knockoffs of the Rode and the DJI versions. I wouldn't get them, me personally. They're just really cheap. And if you want to get something high quality, I'd go with the more expensive ones. But you know, I'm going to put that in the list here, just ones that I found that were good. Link in description below or just in the description. But me personally, I wouldn't get those. They just look pretty cheap and I don't think they're going to last long. Next is the settings to optimize on your Android or iPhone. So let's jump into that. So here's some camera settings to maximize quality for iPhone and Android. So for iPhone here, we have, go into this real quick. So you're going to go into the settings, you're going to go to camera, you're going to do record video 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now you could do 4K, or you have like the recording cinematic 4K down there, but I would just say 1080p at 60 is doable. Also for iPhone, there's like a cinematic setting that also works great, and I've seen the video just looks really high quality by doing that. So yeah, and then also HDR, but that is high efficiency. And down here, I mean, we have, you know, the grid, that's not super necessary. Level, also not super necessary, but I would just say also lock camera, that's pretty important. I would just say use the front facing camera. That's going to work a little bit better, look a little better. Now for Android, now iPhone, I don't have an iPhone. I just looked up, you know, settings online and found this. So yeah, and also, all right, so I'm just going to the Android now. So I changed it in the up here. Change the color of that real quick. So I changed the UHD. Oops, still didn't change. So I changed it to ultra high definition 30. It was on like HD or something, but I just changed it to ultra HD 30. And then I went up to here, and then I did 9:16. And then the last thing was I went into the camera settings. It's like a little thing up in this corner. It's not showing here because it's a screenshot, but it's up in the corner. And I did, you need to turn this off, turn off auto FPS. And that's really everything there for Android. So a bit more simple. You could go into manual mode, but that's what I would recommend for Android and for iPhone there. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and that's it. All right, now that you have that ready to go, the next thing is the lighting. And although I have soft boxes, what I would recommend if you want to just start as soon as possible is get near any type of light or get in front of a window. That works great. And it actually looks just as good as a soft box if you're getting some nice sunlight. And for a tripod, I'll throw this up there, but it is just a basic tripod that I used when I first started out. Just holds your phone, works great. So that's it for that. Now we're going to move on into the second category. And this is going to be stepping it up a bit. So this is what I currently use in my current setup. So here's my thing. If you're going to be moving into another camera, you might as well go with a mirrorless camera instead of going for a DSLR. They just look better, the low light's better, and it's what I would recommend. So that's what I have on the list. So what I have is a Sony a7 III. It's pretty easy to use and it's got good low light capabilities. Even along with the kit lens, it's pretty good, but I would recommend you buy a nice prime lens that's pretty cheap to go with it. Something like the 30mm or the 50mm prime lens, which is also in the description. Otherwise, those are the best you're going to get for how good it's going to look, instead of buying something like a 24 to 70 one with like a low aperture. Prime lenses are going to be your best bet to look the best for around this middle range price. I'm not going to go into camera specifics because honestly, that is just a lot in the weeds here. And if you're a business owner, you probably don't care. You just want to be thrown a list and say, here, get this. So I'm not going to go into that. There's plenty of videos on YouTube for that. With this, I use two pretty cheap soft boxes. I use a slick tripod, which I'm recording on now, and I use this SD card here. I have one battery, and then I also use a backdrop and a stand for it. This whole setup isn't terribly pricey for everything and the quality you're going to get. I also have a Rode Video Micro, but I'm not really going to throw that in there as something you should buy because I wouldn't really recommend it. For this middle range setup here, even the DJI or Rode microphones that I talked about in the beginning, those I would recommend for this, or you can get a nice Shure microphone, which is also going to be in the description. All right, that is everything for the middle section there. Now we're going to jump into the third option. And the third option is pretty above the top. You don't necessarily need to get this, but if you want top of the line quality, this is what I would recommend. But then again, it's not going to be Netflix quality. It's going to look great, but it's not going to be that. It's still under $10,000. So what I would do, I would go with the Sony FX3 along with the 24 to 70mm lens. And with that, I would include these two batteries and these two SD cards. The tripod I would use is the SmallRig 8080, perhaps a bit overkill, but nonetheless, you don't want your expensive camera falling over. The lighting I would use is pretty simple but effective with just a one softbox setup, because that's really all you need, just one at 90 degrees. And that would be the Aperture 300D Mark II, the light dome, and the C-stand with it. Also, one or two nice background light bars just to make it look nice. It's what Iman Gaji uses. I have one on the right and the left. For the mics, I'd still recommend the Shure microphone or the Rode or DJI lapel mics. Those are all great options. So for the background, you could use the same backdrop and stand that I already previously mentioned, or you could go with some type of paneling that a lot of film studios use. And I'll put that also in the description below. So boom, that is everything. I went over 3 camera setups and equipment setups that you can use if you are just getting started and you have no idea where to start. Now, camera specifics, I didn't necessarily go into that because I know that most people are just going to be using their phone, and it's the best route that I would go and what I would do if I was just starting out. So feel free, if you gain some value from this, to like this video. And if you are a business owner looking to establish yourself on YouTube, you only want to spend 4 hours a month of your time and you want to get the benefits of YouTube, feel free to go check out my link in the description, claysumner.com. That is everything for this video. See you guys next time. Bye.